Welcome to this, my first official live stream ever. At least announced, scheduled live stream. I did a test the other day just to see if my equipment worked. And I hope it does. Please let me hear from you in the chat. Have I set up everything so it's working? Can you hear me? Please let me know. I actually have a setup here at the side so I can monitor myself. I have my laptop there, so I'm signed in. Kontore, yes, you can hear me. That's great. Let me hear. Yeah, it seems like everything is working here. That's great. I can see I have some few visitors tuning in. That's great. That's great. That's fun. And the main topic of today, that is the competition. I'm going to pick a winner for a giveaway. The thing I'm going to give away is this one. More about that shortly. Also, I have one other thing happening that I know of, and that is a visitor. In about half an hour, I think I'll have a guest, so I have someone to chat with. And yeah, please just type in the chat anything, any question, any request, whatever you would like me to talk about. I have had some input on my Discord server about topics I could discuss, talk about, and I really don't have any very strict agenda for today. I'm just gonna sit here, have fun. I put on my comfy clothes, and I have well, I'm not drinking any more coffee now. It's late. It's 9 p.m. here in Norway, so yeah, no more coffee for me. But please, I hope you have found a cup of tea or coffee or whatever, having a cool time, and just relax. And let's see if we can have some fun here together. Typhoid, can hear that you're still using the directional microphone. What's happening to the wireless mic? Yeah, I was considering using a wireless microphone instead of my shotgun. But actually, I didn't have the right adapter to plug into my system. So it became a mess. So I hope this works out. But I'm just gonna sit here. I'm not gonna move around in my room, because this microphone, it just picks up my voice here close by. If I'm going to pick something, well, then you won't hear me very much. All right, maybe next time I can buy the adapter so I can plug in my microphone. I can clip on here, then I can move more freely around. But you will see me sitting here, possibly all evening. Okay, so what I'm wondering about is actually if we could just hear in the chat, is anyone that has signed up for the giveaway actually here? Typhoid, you'll survive. That's great. Thank you for that. Because let me right away tell you about the giveaway. There are 6 participants, and I'm gonna pick 2 winners. And the winners, I'm gonna get a free PCB from me. DMI Sync is here. Great. Love to see you here. That's nice. I have actually, let me see if I can change around my screen layout. This is the participants list. DMI Sync is here. Antonio, you can hear me great. Thank you. Nice to know. Bodyball is here. Then we know Bodyball. Bathing ball. Bath ball. What's that? In translation, it's at least a Norwegian friend here joining. DMA Sync is here. Let us join. More or less closed the signing up part, haven't I? Or should I allow more to join in now? Ooh, I don't know. So I have this criteria to join into the giveaway. You actually need to have a proper reason for winning one. And so all of these people here who has signed up, they have described their project to me, and they really could benefit from this PCB where you can test your motorcycle wiring solution. So, Kontoret Valgrinda, the office Valgrind. I'm not sure really. Do you have a legit reason for being part of the competition? Let me know. Thai food, you don't have any project right now, you say there, so... Athgot, you are here as well. Then at least we have 3 of the participants join in. We need for rocket. Okay, that is a valid reason. Let me add 1 row here. Okay. Join in from the stream. And let me also share the way I'm gonna pick a winner. I'm trying to do this a bit exciting, a bit funny, so I will gonna do it by having a marble run race. That means all the participants are gonna be added into a marble race. That's the idea here. So far we have this, and then it's the first one to win 3 rounds. Yeah, so, okay, so you, Kontoret Valgrinda, okay, so you're a friend of Anders. Well, that's great. That's great. Excellent. Yeah, I guess I'm not sure if this PCB is suitable for tuning in your rocket, but if you probably to customize Anders' motorcycle, it could be nice. Antonio says he would like to hear more about how I design a custom circuit diagram. Yes, not sure how much I can go into that today, but it's a very interesting topic at least. So DMA Sync, you are agreeing to my choice of doing a marble run. Before I start, just in case some of you are not really sure what this is all about, I have prepared before I start. This is from my YouTube video where I presented this PCB. This is a very special product. Let me just show you the video. So in case you are not familiar with the system, it is designed by me, and it is because I'm gonna design a motorcycle computer, and I have then ordered this PCB that I have designed from JLC PCB. And here I'm unboxing it, and here you can see me showing it for the first time. And the idea here is then to be able to plug in all the wires similar as you would for a motorcycle that goes all around your motorcycle. And at the end here I'm testing it. So all these wires will either go to a button, so you can test your buttons, or it goes to a light or equipment. So here you can see I am testing all the different lights. Also, I have a buzzer for horn. So hopefully it's a useful tool to have to plug in stuff to see if your system is actually working, if you're gonna do some bench testing, some development stuff. So yeah, this is what I'm gonna give away, 2 of these. So let me then just start with the competition. Let me check the chat here. Marble race, yes. Okay, so you have an old DR set, Antonio. Nice. Yeah, if you have an old motorcycle, you normally need a new wiring loom eventually, because at least all my old motorcycles, the wiring loom eventually is so bad that you're struggling finding one problem after the other, trying to fix it with the bad connections everywhere. Okay, so let me do one test run first, and then we starting the competition here. I think maybe I need to have some marble run music in the background. Yeah, there we got it. This is marble run music. I should mention, you must let me know if something goes bad here, because I have a lot of stuff wired up here trying to manage everything, and just let me know if something is not working as it should. All right, let me do a test run. I have lined up Athcot, Badball, Kane, the DMA Sync, The Office, Kontoret, Quadzilla, and Skunkwork. That is all the participants. This is just a test run. And what I should mention is that when I'm already have lined up the marbles here, you can see that some have already got a pole position here. So like Athcot is, or maybe Kontoret has a pole position here, because let me see, can I this maybe I can do this one. You can see here, if this ball is falling down, it has a pretty straight line down here, while Athcot, he will bounce into this pretty soon. And unfortunately, Kane, Skunkwork are out the side here, and I have a bad position for this run, but this is now just a start run. Let's see how it goes. Ready, steady, and go. The marbles are running, and it looks like Athcot is the winner here, is the first one. Yes. This was just a test run. And you can see that it is nice to have a good starting position. That is very, very important to have a good chance of winning. But sometimes it might be you might get stuck, or you might get bounced away. So it is random. Okay, now the competition starts. Not the composition. The competition starts. Where did my marble go? Yeah, amazing. You didn't even finish, did you? You're up here somewhere. Sometimes the marble gets stuck inside the edge of the wall. Okay, we have at least a winner of the test, but now it starts. Race again. The marbles are randomly lined up. This time it's Skunkwork that has the best position, or maybe Kane. Maybe Kane. You can see this is a pretty good starting position. You maybe will bounce into this. Okay, I won't be too scientifically analyzing all the marbles every run. Let me just start it. Ready, go. And we have a winner, and it is the Rocket Man. That is the last one who signed up actually got the first round. That is very cool. So what I'm gonna do then is press X here. So the leader is Kontoret. But it's a lot of rounds yet. Of course, if Kontoret wins 2 consecutive rounds, then it's done. I'm gonna pick 2 winners, remember. Next round. Skunkwork is again in the pole position, and look at that. Yes, this was a clear run for Skunkwork. I must say this was yeah, this was typically what happens if you have a very good starting position. And Smiley Bob is here as well. Okay, next round. This time, Contour again has the best position here. All right. But anything can happen, But I must say, this is, yeah, almost irritating good luck here from Contour. Let's start and look at this. Oh no, yeah, Kane and Contour is... Kane took the last... or at the end of the run, Kane managed to jump ahead and get the winning position on this round. Okay. Next. This time, DMA sync. I'm voting for you. You have a good starting position here. And, oh yeah, okay, it's tumbling around. And Skunkwork. Look at that. Ooh, look at that already. 2 points and in the lead this time. So we can already now announce a winner if Skunkworks get another one. Not as good position this time. Let's see how it goes. Athcott, no. Badball. Oh, yes, Badball. Oh, it was close at the end there. DMA sync. Congrats. All right, it's pretty close. So how is this gonna go? And in this round, it's Quadzilla that has the pole position. And... Oh, Contour. And look at that. Look at that. Second win for Contour. This is getting close. Okay, now it looks like Skunkwork has a very good starting position here and has already 2 points. Maybe we now have a winner. Skunkwork is in the lead. He's in the lead. Oh, Badball. What? Oh, that was close. Oh, Badball managed to take the finish line first on this round. Okay. Okay. Strange. This shouldn't be funny at all, should it? But I think it's enjoyable. New round. Oh, this was a new one. Look at that. Okay, so what happens here will... Okay, let's see how this goes. I'm not sure what is the best position here. Maybe it is DMI sync here that gets the best start. Let's see. Okay. Quadzilla. Oh, what happens there? Kane. Look at that. Kane. All right. Badball and Skunkwork. Skunkwork again. I think Skunkwork is getting very often a good starting position. Maybe this is the winning round. No. It is the MA sync in the lead here. No. Contour. And what happened there? I lost the screen. Okay, so why did it close from me? There, I got it back. It was too much for my CPU to keep track of all the windows here, but yes. Congratulations! Contour is the winner, the third win in the marble run, and the first winner ever on my stream. So that is very cool. That means I'll contact you and get your address, send it to you. And what I'm gonna do now do now is remove you from the list. Because there is still one more PCB to give away. And that will then be... Bodyball has a good position here. I think both Bodyball and Kane has a good position. Kane has already 2 points, so maybe it's Kane that gets the next one. Let's see how this goes. Oh yes, Kane is in the lead. No, but the amazing... Oh no, at the end there it was actually Athcott got his first point. Quadzilla still has no point. Athcott, congratulations, finally your marble got first to the finish line. And this time, okay, Athcott and the Amazing, you are now both 1 point and have the pool position here. And ooh, that was the Amazing. Look at that. Look at that. I think we're gonna have a winner this time. Because now it's 50% chance that one of these that already had 3 points here. So it's 50% chance that we got a winner this time. Skunkwork has a very good position. Let's see how it goes. Oh, Skunkwork is... No. Kane is in the lead. Or Athcott. Okay, so then we have yet another round to do. And now it is 60% chance to score a winner. And Kane has the best position, I think. Okay, let's just go for it. Oh, and is it? It is the Amazing. Look at that. Started out very poorly, but at the end there, you grabbed 3 wins. Look at that. Look at that. Congratulations. Congratulations. That means we have 2 proud winners. And I guess fun that both of you were here in the stream. So some kind of, let me see. What I thought maybe I could like paint this yellow, so I know these 2 winner guys get each of your PCB like this. And yeah, I've used it a bit. It's very nice. It's very cool. I think this can be a fun thing, and if you're eventually not gonna need it anymore, you can just plug in some kind of microcontroller and make a pattern, and you can have a nice wall ornament, what to call it. So yeah, it can be used to different things. I could mention that on my GitHub, I do have the schematics for it. So if you would like to make your own version, and it's also upgraded version I have here. So what you can see here on the version I have uploaded to GitHub, I have changed around with the labels. I got this as a suggestion. So if you can see here, the labels are facing towards you, while on the one I have here, you will normally be sitting here working on it, and the labels will be behind the wires. So that was a bad design. And I also changed around with some of the resistors. the blue light is very sharp, so I added a bigger resistor there to have better balance on the lights. So if you didn't win this competition, but you really would like to have one, it is possible to download the Gerber files or the KiCad project and order one yourself. So that was the first part of the stream. And for the second part of the stream, I think I will welcome a visitor. So let's see if we can get this working. Let's see if we can switch in Thomas here. I can see he has joined. So maybe I need... Give me a sec. Could it be that the URL has changed? Yes. Let's see if this works. Hi, Thomas.
Hello.
Nice of you to join. Yeah, Typhoid, he knew.
Thank you for having me.
Be you. So, how are you doing, Thomas?
I'm doing just fine, to be honest.
And what
I just had a little look at your live thing going with the competition and everything. Quite cool with that name dropping down.
Yeah, try to find a fun way to pick a winner.
And hello to the audience as well. If you don't know me, I have an adventure channel online and do a lot of adventure traveling and are more into, yeah, videography and that kind of things.
Yeah, maybe, I guess, just to be transparent, there are 14 concurrent viewers, so it's a great big audience with it. We're going for quality audience, not quantity audience. And maybe some of them haven't heard about you and know about you, but you're of course my friend, and we have had a couple of collaborations when it comes to YouTube videos, and adventure motorcycling is your thing. But tell me a bit more about yourself, please.
Oh, that is a deep one. I'm newly retired. Been working as a firefighter for 17 years. Been riding adventure motorcycles for 22 years, but adventure bicycle for, no, not bicycle, but motorcycle for, yes, in 20 years now, 11 years. And I live in Bergen, a little bit further south from you, and have been living here for half of my life, maybe.
But you're originally from Ålesund.
Yeah, I'm born and I was raised in Ålesund. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So we're almost neighbors until you went further south to Bergen.
Yeah, but it's a funny thing with that, because you people from Molde is kind of, and Ålesund is kind of like, yeah, it's not a good thing, is it?
Well, for those of you who are not Norwegian, we have what's called fogderistrid, or like it's some kind of competition or rivalry within close neighbor municipalities. So, and Ålesund is a bigger city or town than Molde. Molde is half the size or something. So I'm like the little brother city compared to Ålesund. So it's a bit of rivalry there. So, but Bergen is no competition at all. It's too far away, so there is no rivalry over there. Yeah. All right. Okay. I have one question to you, or almost to myself also, because I've had this video series for years now where I have been fixing my Cagiva motorcycle, adventure motorcycle. It's an old motorcycle from 90 from an Italian bike. The brand doesn't even exist anymore. It's a really vintage motorcycle. And I've finally now got it into shape. And the goal has been to go adventure riding. So far, I've been mainly in my garage fixing this motorcycle, and I have about 10 videos of me fixing the motorcycle. And the goal has been to go on a real adventure trip with a tent and whatever equipment I would need to go on a real adventure. And I need help, so I asked you, Thomas, to help me with my first adventure to make sure that I'm getting back and forth safely. But it has never happened. You are busy, I am busy, you're on your trips, and I do my stuff. But to the next, or this year, do you think we can make it happen?
Yeah, now it's much easier for my schedule at least to get this thing happen. But I think foremost, you need to bring that bike into shape and just get out there.
Yeah, of course. But now my bike is more or less done. I need to replace the clutch disc. I have ordered them. It's a 2-hour job, and I gonna switch over to new Öhlins rear shocks. I have bought a almost brand new restored shocks, so it's just plug and play, couple of hours as well. So my motorcycle is done now. It's just get out there. So it's really just to find a time and somewhere to go and just do it. So how can we make it happen?
Well, we could probably set a date now just to make it extra pressure for you to get out there. But according to my schedule, I'm going to the motorcycle show now in February. And in March, I'm going down to Sicily in Italy to try the new Yamaha World Raid. And in April, I'm just going to spend Easter with my kid. But after that, until May, I'm quite open. So if we are lucky and have early spring this year, we could probably do something in April or beginning of May.
What is typically the temperature in that time of year? Isn't it still a bit cold?
Yeah, you will probably need a good sleeping bag and a good insulated mattress. But yeah, we manage. We're Vikings up here, so
yeah, we are Vikings. Exactly. That's great. That's great. Well, if any of the ones in the chat have any questions about to Thomas or to me, just let me hear. So, is Runa there? Somebody asks.
Yeah, she's in the kitchen, doing the dishes.
Okay, so you got her at the kitchen, in the kitchen. Okay, noted.
Yeah. We kind of equal in that part. So she does the heavy lifting, and I do all the busy stuff on the computer. And yeah,
exactly. So we're still
gonna just take a look if she can see me or hear me.
Okay, yeah, but be careful of what we say now. My wife, she's in Bergen actually on a trip, so I'm home alone. Yeah, so I need to do my own dishes this weekend. I have a comment here. Peter says the reason he found my channel was because he started out with in your channel, Thomas. And
yeah, cool.
And yeah, I do most of my videos either in my garage or here in my lab. And you do most of your videos out on the road. And there is one thing that irritates me a bit about you, and that is the quality you manage to get when you're recording videos outdoors. This, is it allowed to call it cinematic? You get this way of sharing your journeys in a way so I can almost smell it, you know. And that is, I don't know about anyone who can like capture the journey or the trip the way you do it. I've tried myself on a couple of small trips, and it sucks. It does. It doesn't end up like your videos. How do you do it? What is the secret ingredients? What is it you do that nobody else, or at least not many else, manage to do?
Oh, that is a really good and tough question, to be honest. I think I think everybody should go in and see the first video I put up, because that kind of sets the bar of where I started out this journey. And I was quite rubbish in the beginning, like everybody would be in this game. But I have a huge passion for this videography thing, and I I always like to share a story. And I've been a photographer since I was a kid, and I always had that as a passion as well. So it comes down to, I have a phrase that I heard online many years back, but it's always like the magic you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding. And I always think about that when I rig up the camera or I put up the drone or whatever. I try to find a composition, and it's all about just trying to, if I see something that catches my eyes from my motorcycle seat, I try to capture it and make it into something that is relatable for the guy who, or the girl who would ride the same way. And I think it's all about just selling a dream, or trying to catch into that feeling of what is it to be an adventure rider? What is it to come to camp? It's like smelly or sweaty feet. It's just like going down on your knees, pitch the tent, sitting down with a whiskey or whatever at the evening, and everything of that is relatable. And when you put it into high quality content as well, you kind of dip into something that a lot of people can relate to. And I think that is the magic sauce in everything. It's just like make it humble and make it relatable.
But you have done so many trips and so many travels, journeys. Do you still have this exciting feeling, this adventurous feeling still? Or is it like it's just another trip for you now?
No, I think that is what makes this something that I can continue to enjoy, is that because as long as I go out there with my camera, I want to create a story, or I want to try to make something different, or because you evolve and you learn new stuff all the time. So you try to kind of bring it to the next level every time. So even if I've ridden many roads many times before, it's just getting back there and try to capture it in a new way, or tell a different story from when you were there last time. And because a lot of people ask me this, because do you enjoy the trip, or do you enjoy the riding? Because it must be so much work going back and forth for the camera and whatnot. And I think that it is what makes the trip so enjoyable for me, because I managed to experience the trips in so many ways. It's not only because you ride back and forth a couple of times, but you also spend more time in the now and at the places you are visiting. And you also look for that shots, and you experience the trip afterwards when you are back in front of the computer trying to edit the story.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I did one trip to the US, 10 days on a Harley Davidson, me and 3 buddies. I was not very skilled when it comes to the camera, but I recorded the trip. And this is now almost 10 years ago, and we still, when we meet up each second year, we look back to that video and all the memories. So I can really relate to keeping the memories alive, by having this video. So that I can totally understand, see the beauty of it. And then it's probably, I would assume it's worth the extra trip, as you say, because it will end up in something to remember
and
for the future.
It's almost like a diary. You kind of make something that your kid can enjoy when he grows up, and that the audience love it, and me myself as well. I like myself what I'm making, so I enjoy watching it back a year later or half a year later. So it's kind of always remind me if I'm at in a bad position, or if I or have lack of inspiration or whatever, I can sit down with my own videos and look through that trip and remind myself, oh, this is why I do it. And I think I get also that questions a lot also, and that is relatable to what kind of content do you want to make? What should you make? Should you try to make something you would watch? It's really hard for me to guess what you would like. So I always say that try to make videos that you enjoy or miss on YouTube yourself. If you're looking for something that you can't find, try to make it.
Yeah. And what I hate when I see these travel videos that a lot of people do is that they put a 360 camera or action camera on their helmet or on their handlebar, and then you have 20-minute video of that person riding and talking constantly, and it gets really boring really fast. Why do people do that?
I think there's a, I think it's a place and audience for everything, and I do know that people appreciate vlogging and people appreciate the cinematic story. Some think that the quality becomes too good. They want the rough mobile phone shaky stuff, and I think that I got bored really easy, and for me it's more about getting into the story or touching emotions. It's all about the feel or the dream when you're going down a road and you can see the mountains and you can, like you say, you can almost smell or taste the air in the area. That is what inspired me, and that is what I want to make.
Exactly.
But yeah, we're all different, and I think that we need to start somewhere and we need to practice to be better. And the more you fail, the better you get. And yeah, be self-critic and do it over again.
Peter says drone is the secret ingredients. What do you say to that?
Yeah. It's really hard to debate that, because it elevates the production to another level. You just cannot capture the essence of some of the valleys or waterfalls without a drone. So I would say it makes my job hell of a lot easier when you have a drone. But I do have some videos where I try to avoid using the drone, just to try to make different camera angles and try to, but that is more like a story driven visual thing inside the cabin or inside the house or everything. But when you are out on the travels, you really want to get that bird-eye perspective to get a better understanding of where you are, and that kind of just box it into something that is more beautiful or better in a way.
And I guess it's the same. I find it boring if somebody puts on a camera and rides along the road straight ahead for 20 minutes. But it's also boring to see a drone flying for 20 minutes, and without any more content, maybe some music or you hear the propellers running. So boredom when it comes to the footage, that's bad, regardless of what footage it is.
Yeah, but that is also a feeling. It's all about how long should you keep the footage hanging, because you want to. It all depends on the next clip, and it all depends on the story. If it's kind of like that, you want to build up something, you need to be really aware of how long the clips are. Or if you want high pace, you want something with high energy. So it's. Like I get questions a lot. How do you edit? How do you know when to cut or whatnot? And it all comes down to a hunch or a stomach feeling. It just feels right, or it feels not right. So I try to cut it when I feel have enough. And it's something that comes with practice. You need to kill your babies. You really need, because a lot of people think that everything I film has value. But like when me and Runa was up to the North Cape and did the whole last section of the northern part of Norway, we had almost 24 hours of footage in total. I don't know how many terabytes it was, but it was unbelievable. And I'm trying now to make a long video out of it, and it's approximately 1 hour, 1.5. And it's hard, to say the least. There's so many moments I really want to bring in, but I'm struggling.
It's not easy. I see the chat here. I got a couple of comments here. Don't forget to lock tight your elephant bolts. Don't want things come loose again. This is probably nothing you are familiar with, but since I've been more or less taking my whole bike apart and putting it back together, when I went on a trip for a couple of years ago, a couple of crucial components they actually fell off because I hadn't put on Loctite, so the nuts they just unwinded. So I learned my lesson.
Yeah,
Either
I actually had a Ducati back in the days.
Oh yeah,
I think it's the predecessor to the Cagiva. I think the designer of Cagiva was also designing the
Yeah.
748 and the 916 or what the
Exactly.
number of it is. And I had the 948 SPS or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So I'm familiar with
yeah,
Ducati and the shaking. It's not that bad as Harley Davidson, but it's still yeah.
exactly.
I hope there's no Harley Davidson riders in the chat.
I got another comment here as well. Tinkering in the garage is nice to watch too. So I try actually to do some of the same thing you do when like the capture like the feeling of the trip. I'm trying to capture like the feeling of the work in the garage. So I think we do some of the same stuff, but very different environment. But it's all about storytelling, either
yeah.
visual storytelling, or it can be the dialogue, or it can be the project that is a challenge. It's something. So, but I think we do use some of the same elements. It's just that you are much better than me in the footage part.
Yeah, and I think no, I'm not better than you in any way. It's just like I have another niche or a different kind of perspective on it, and I do my niche and you do your niche. And I
Yeah.
would say that one of the reason why I contacted you the first place was that I have been doing this for some years, and when I saw your videos coming up, it was just like, okay, this guy know what he's doing. It's high quality, it's engaging, there are a lot of different clips, and you try to focus on the important parts, what you're doing. It's kind of like a lot of the things I don't have a clue about, like when you helped me with the car, all the kind of fancy stuff you did with some of the tools there, it just blows my mind how much you can learn from somebody. Even if I know how to use tools and I know a lot of about the mechanical stuff, you still manage to make it really interesting. And I think that you have a gift when it comes to showing off stuff in that really sterile garage you have. How do you make it not cluttered? I just that alone blow my mind when you kind of started to clean up before the next take or the next shooting, and you needed when I tried the spray cans on the things I had on the roof on the car, you kind of you need to do that towards this wall so you don't spray paint on that too. And it was
Yeah,
a little bit of OCD.
Yeah, some people are impressed by the cleanliness and the structure. Others wonder what kind of illness, what kind of OCD.
I would bet you have a couple of letters in the chart. Yeah.
Let's move over to the chat. Let's see the next question.
Cut that.
So Antonio says inviting us to come to Portugal to ride the ACT from north to south in Portugal. And it's a great adventure with my elephant. And of course, we should not just ride around in Norway. We have a fantastic nature or countries we can visit down south as well. You haven't been too much further south, have you?
I've been a lot actually in Europe, but not so much on my motorcycle the last years. But after I started video work, I haven't been traveling abroad that much because of I have a kid. I have a son. He's 12 years old now. But before that, I've been traveling a lot, and I've been traveling on family vacation and everything. So I think I've been visiting a lot of countries down south. Okay. But with that said, I have been working really hard the last couple of years to be able to free myself from all the economical strains or the strings from trying to beat the system or whatever. So I'm finally retired. I can now live fully out of my production company and YouTube and some commercial work I do, and of course some sponsorships and whatever. So I'm planning a trip down to the Pyrenees, and I want to do Spain and I want to do Portugal. I'm invited down to the DMD2 people that do the software for the thing, and I have a lot of friends who live in Spain, so I have possibilities to ride there, park my bike, fly back home, and yeah. So I really want to explore much more in the upcoming years.
And obsessed with tinkering here, he asks you, Thomas, when you have set up the camera and go back to do a drive-by shot, have you ever forgotten about the camera and had to drive a long way back to get it?
No, not my camera, because it's a really expensive piece of kit, and when you set it up, you're always a little bit worried if somebody would stop and tinker with it or bring it with them. But here in Norway or in Scandinavian countries, it's pretty safe, but everybody can be unlucky, of course. But yeah, I got a lot of questions about that. Did you place the camera in the middle of the road and just left it there?
Yeah, and I guess for the future, when you're really going 100% in as a filmmaker, you should not forget your camera. It's expensive. Yes.
No, with the memory cards and there's been some sketchy moments where I thought I lost everything, and but yeah, it's gone well so far. Knock on wood.
Peter here says, I have a Buell, and that's like
Buell?
a Harley. That's like a Harley, isn't it? Buell. Buell. Well, how do you say it? Buell.
Yeah, I think they stopped producing them a couple of years back, or at least maybe 10 years back. And those are kind of like the street fighters with really big engines and really nice sound, I think.
It shakes a lot, he says.
Yeah. Then it's a Harley.
Then it's a Harley. All right, Thai food takeaway says, Key, you have your own style. Stop chasing other style. Embrace how you do the videos today. They are great. You have a gift for this as is. And thank you very much. That was very nice words. Thank you. And I guess that is actually very important, isn't it? To be true to yourself, not trying to be someone else. You can be influenced, and you can get inspiration, and you can get motivation, and you can pick up things that you can bring into your whatever you're doing. If it's video making, or if you're not video making and you're just doing something, let's say you are fixing your motorcycle or building your custom motorcycle, you can get inspiration, but not try to copy. Isn't that an important thing?
Yeah, I do think that all of us copy or steal or do similarity in regards of that, because we get inspired, we get motivation out of, at least for me, I see something you do, I try to figure out how you did it, how you cut it, how you made the sound design, and you try to bring that into you. But I also think that your style of editing, your personality, and your footprint are so unique in itself that even if you copy or do something, it's never about stealing other people's work or trying to make something that is exactly the same as anybody else. And I do think that a lot of people that burn out of this game, or they're trying to impress people in a way that they're trying to do the same thing that everybody else, instead of just have faith, or not faith is not the word, but just have confidence in your own self, and be aware that you are doing something that some people will appreciate. Just look at this chat, for God's sake. There are people on their free time, spare time, tuning in and watching two elderly guys blabbing around about video making, and I think that is such a humbling experience. I really appreciate it, and I always like to give back to that. I think it's cool.
Yeah, Peter says inspiration is not stealing, he says, and that's very well put. I totally agree to that. You should be inspired. You should pick up successes from others, and but bring it into your way of doing it, not trying to be the other one, because then you're chasing something you maybe never are gonna accomplish, and you're never satisfied because you never got to be exactly like, let's say, your idol. because then you're going too far. In the video world, there was a period everybody tried to be exactly like Casey Neistat, who still is a very famous and popular YouTuber. But you're never going to be like him, are you?
No.
No.
You cannot copy. The only thing you will be is just halfway pretend to be or whatever. As long as you do something out of your own heart. And I also do think that if you chase this for the wrong reasons, if you do it for the wrong reason, people will smell it a mile away. I do think that when you have honesty, integrity, and you show up with your character and you show that you are passionate about what you do, even if it's something you build or it's video work, you just bring that and people can smell it or feel it or see it. And I think that is what makes some of us stand out in the crowd.
Typhoon, the takeaway, he says, elderly, question mark, take that back. I am the same age as you and I am young.
Well, we all need that daily lie, don't we? And I just saw myself in the mirror the other day and I just like, no, not in the mirror. That's wrong. It's actually a much better story than that. I was at the government building where you renew your license for your trucks and cars and motorcycle and whatever. And the girl in the counter that said to me that my picture was expired. I need to take a new one because or else I couldn't get a new license. And I just, no problem. So I went into the photo booth and it was all digital and it was a boom, I had a picture and she asked me, are you happy with the picture? And I got a preview and I said, yeah, that's fine. It's like I'm looking. And then you got the old picture and the new picture compared and it was just like, damn, I'm getting old.
Okay.
And it was only 10 years apart. So
yeah, well, we are not getting younger, are we?
But we are young in mind or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. That's nice. That's a good story. Well, now we are not getting any younger when it comes to the physical part. The body is just going one way. But keeping healthy.
You're trying to avoid a bullet here, Hesta. How old are you actually? You look young with the hairdo and everything, but yeah.
Okay. I have quite another topic before we gonna end the stream. We're not gonna do this all night long, but you're not really into electronics, are you? Or into tinkering when it comes to other stuff than the cameras?
No, I did it once when I renewed my kitchen, and that's how I lost all the hair. So I'm not good with electronics. No, not at all.
Exactly. So, but I have a short. I promised to show my viewers the latest I'm working on. This is one relay, and this is two relays in pair, but they are built so they can be hooked up to a microcontroller, so they can be. So it's like a switch you can turn on off from a computer, to say. So you can, if you have like a remote control or something, and you are pushing a button on your remote control, the remote control just have a small battery, have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 volts, and you might turn on or off a high voltage light, like your ceiling lights, 220 volts. So this is typically what you need to use a low voltage electronic device to turn on a high voltage power system. And the latest thing I have done is to make one of those like this. And this is what's called a smart switch. So maybe I should have a pencil here. If you can see this small black box there, this small chip, yeah, there are 2 of those. You can see those. That is actually the same as 3 of those. So 3 of those is the same as those 2 there. That is how the world has progressed the latest years. So this is called a smart switch, and this is a German company, I think, or am I wrong? Infineon is the name of the company. They have made these small parts. So you can put, these are made for 12 volts. So I'm going to use these on my motorcycle project. So if you're going to turn on the headlights, you're going to turn on the starter engine, whatever you're going to power on your motorcycle, it's 12 volts. And this small integrated circuits there, they can power on 12 volts by receiving a small number of voltage, 3.3 volt, like to power them on and off. So this smart switch is like the main component in my Ctrl MC project to like be able to control all the equipment on the motorcycle. For older motorcycle, that is to be needs electrical renewal on. Typically an old motorcycle eventually it starts to fail when it comes to the electrics, as you maybe, I'm not sure, but your old Ducati.
Yeah, I've had a Ducati.
So that's the current status. I'm now working on a video where I am testing out this, and I'm gonna pair it with this test motorcycle, my simulator. So this is what's gonna power all the lights, yeah, if it works though. I've just designed it. I haven't tested it yet. So that is the
But does
status.
it has anything to say that the relay you showed off first was that Swedish name on top of it? Does that has anything to do with the?
Now these Biltema, these I think these are made millions of, and they are probably made by the same Chinese company. They are just printed different names on them, but yeah, it was just one I had laying around, and I think it's funny to compare how much they're able to shrink it down with the modern technology. So yeah, that was just a short recap of the electronics project. So this weekend I'm going to test out this, and hopefully over the weekend I have a new video, and crossing my fingers, hoping this is going to work out. But let's see how it goes. But
yeah, I actually have a video idea we need to discuss as well. I have something in mind for the garage outside where you can put up the bags on the wall, and maybe I need some 3D printing magic going on. So that could be fun project as well.
Absolutely, yeah. My 3D printer is back there. It is frequently used. It still works. So just keep the projects coming.
Yeah, you're my personal. What was the name of it in English? Was it Theodore Rimspoke?
Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah, I think so. Theodore Rimspoke.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you're mine.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. That's an honor. All right, checking the chat here. You can control it with the Arduino or Raspberry Pi or ESP32. Yes, so this power smart switch can be controlled with any kind of microcontroller. This one is built for 3.3 volts. So any microcontroller that is run by 3.3, this is suitable for. Some of the Arduino microcontrollers are run at 5 volts, so then this is not the optimal one. Then you need to find a similar type for 5 volts. Peter says spaghetti. Yes, I have. That's what we call the wiring system for these old motorcycles. Spaghetti wiring, because it's wires all over the place. And with my system, it's going to be no more spaghetti. That's the goal of it. And DMA
I have a good one there as well, because when I had my Ducati, I had a data tool alarm system that was fabric, also from the factory. It was mounted on the bike. So one day I was going out on a long trip, and my bike refused to start, because on the Ducati you had those fuel pumps that needed to activate a little bit before you could start the engine. and it just went completely shut. And I tried to fail seek everything, and I tried to figure out what this was. And after a lot of search online, and this was before internet was such a huge thing as it is today, and it was really hard to find information about it. We finally found out when we tried to cut down on the electronics that when you kind of made it a loop, you just made the wires always connect, then it went back again. And I think after that I decided I would never go for Ducati again. But that has changed now, of course. But yeah.
Well, I think any motorcycle.
That was spaghetti.
Yeah, but any motorcycle, regardless of brand, I have a lot of Hondas, and it's the same there. It's the same issue, or similar issue with some other stuff. So older motorcycles, they are terrible to figure out what is wrong when something is wrong, because all the wires are connected everywhere. So the nice thing with this,
but when you do this project, do you renew all the wiring, or do you make a complete new harness and everything? You
can't reuse anything. Okay. You can use the same switches, of course, so you can use what's originally on the bike, but you're going to replace all the wires and wire them up from scratch. And the nice thing with using modern electronic components is they can actually tell you where the problem is, because these are smart, so they can sense if it goes too much current, if it doesn't go current, if it's shorted. So the display can just tell you left indicator is not working, or there is a short between that and that wire. So it can sense on what is going on in the system. So and that's typically also what you find in modern cars. You get an error code, and the error code says what is wrong, instead of you having to try to figure it out by decoupling or to try to search manually. So yeah, Antonio says it's magic, and it almost is. So right, okay, but I think what's the time? I thought maybe we'll 10 o'clock is a good time for the chat to end. Not the chat, but the live stream to end. Do you have any final last words, Thomas, before we...
Oh, you leaving that up to me to kind of put in the kind of grand finale.
I just give you a chance there. Is there anything we have forgotten to talk about?
I'm highly appreciative of joining your channel, and I really appreciate the work you do. And I just you keep on motivating me, as I told you so many times. And I really hope, I can't wait to see what you do next. But I really like to see you finish that Kagiva so we can go on that trip.
Yeah. Absolutely. Same to you, by the way. Huge inspiration for me as well. And I will try to make some videos on the road. And I guarantee you my Kagiva is done this spring, and I will be ready for some kind of trip. So yeah, we're going to do some planning there. So maybe in a future live stream, we can focus on the planning and pull up a map and do some brainstorming around that. Just let me know if that could be of interest to you that is watching.
Make a poll on your channel and see if people are interested in joining in on that.
I can do that.
I can show something about planning, not planning, but packing and what I bring, and we can compare.
That would be nice. I have actually, in addition to replacing the clutch and the clutch disc and the shock, I would like to make an improvement to my luggage system. So maybe you can give me some clues there. I have a luggage system.
There you see, there's a new project, and there's a new project.
Yeah, well, but it works. It's no big deal. It's just a bit cumbersome, and sometimes it lays into the exhaust, so it gets a bit burnt. It smells a bit. So some small improvements I would like to do there. That's great. So the last look at the chat says, very interested in, Antonio says, I'm very interested in knowing more about these smart switches. Maybe I'll definitely this will be the main topic on my next video, so I will say much more about them. Maybe I'll have a live stream later where I do more like hands-on electronics work. I'm not sure yet. Typhoid Takeaway says trip planning sounds like a nice one to view, so that could be. I don't think I'm gonna invite you, Thomas, to if I'm gonna deep dive into this electronics. I'm not sure.
No, I can't add anything to that. So
Well, we have each our strengths and weaknesses. So yeah, so right time to right place. So maybe trip planning and looking at the luggage system could be a nice thing for us to look at one day. Thanks a lot for joining in to the stream. Nice of you to put aside some time. So, and hopefully one...
always for you, my mate.
Yeah, perfect. And that's it. I think I'll end the stream for now. Thank you very much for watching. It was a blast, fun for me just to try out live streaming. And so give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down or any pointers on how I can improve. I would love to hear it. So that's it. Bye bye.
Ha det bra!